Howdy. Welcome back to Dion Talk. There's actually been some data going around saying that if you cuss in the first 30 seconds of a video, it's more likely to be demonetized. So I'm actually going to use a bad word. If there's any kids around, make sure they're not listening. Most of us have heard this saying. If you look at the 5 people you spend the most time with, I can show you your average. So we become the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. This is a load of crap. So
no, Dion, sorry. I disagree with you already. You said I would. You're wrong.
There you go.
If that's the case, this video is over. I'm out. I'm not hanging out with you guys anymore.
So this is where a Dionism comes in, where I point out something like people always say days get shorter in the winter and longer in the summer. And then I point out that the shortest day of the year is the day winter starts. So the only thing that can possibly happen in the winter is that days get longer. And people go, hang on, that makes sense. So right now you disagree with me because we've all heard it for decades. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Matt, the lumberjack landlord, reaching financial freedom, probably going to be retiring soon. Millennial Mike, a first responder with 10 rental properties, working on financial freedom so that you can choose the job you want, not the job that you have to have. And I think that's going to end up being a realtor in Florida, like the end kind of path that you're looking at, right? Lumberjack landlord with over 137 rental units, last count. Changes often.
It does.
How many people did you hang around with for the last 22 years of investing that had 137 rental properties?
You've met me. I have problems hanging out with people with only 10.
Exactly. So Millennial Mike, first responder, we had this talk yesterday. We were actually driving around. We drove to each one of my properties and we recorded a little bit in front of each one to make a video that's probably going to come out next week. And in the truck, we were talking and I asked you, as a police officer, how many people do you work with that are investing? And I think you said 2. Okay, out of hundreds that you spend the most time with. I worked at a truck driving school. Because here's the thing. You don't spend the most time with your 5 closest friends. You don't spend the most time with your spouse in most cases. You spend 8 to 12 hours a day with coworkers and customers. How many? And so I worked at the truck driving school for over 13 years. I was an investor for 12 years while working there. And in those 12 years, while there were 6 staff when I started, there were over 60 when I retired last year. So over the time it grew. A total, not even the owners until after I left working there, but a total of 2 people in that entire time invested in real estate. Matt, you work in IT. IT and sales, and Mike, you're a first responder, and I worked in transportation. We have never spent the majority of our time around 5 investors growing portfolios and reaching financial freedom. So I wanted to call this myth out and point out that you're going to spend a lot of time around more than 5 people that you don't want to be the average of. You need to control the content that you take in. You need to develop the habit of taking in content that gets you to the goal you're looking for. You want to be the best hunter. You're going to watch hunting videos. You want to be the best at playing, pick any one of the sports balls, go play it. Be with those people, but you're not going to be with them more than you are with the people that you're at work. And when you bring up something like real estate and investing, financial freedom at work, what's the response you get? So Matt, you've talked with people at work. You've probably, like I have, encouraged people. Hey, I used to do this thing where I'd go, here's Rich Dad Poor Dad. This is $100. I will give you this $100 if you come back after reading this and we have a 10-minute conversation about that book. I did that hundreds of times and gave away $200.
Yeah.
What's the response when you brought up investing, real estate, financial freedom with the people you spend the most time with?
Seems like a lot of work. It's so much. I mean, just always problems and the phone calls in the middle of the night and the whole long list. And it's just like, and I would tell them, I was like, have you ever asked a landlord that had any number of properties how many times he gets a call in the middle of the night? Have you ever asked? They're like, no, but I've heard the stories. Have you ever asked? No. Okay. Ask me. I average 3 phone calls after 8 o'clock a year. 3 phone calls after 8 p.m. a year. You guys bother me more after 8 o'clock than my tenants do. And I got 137 of those. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's a bunch of fallacies. It's people being lazy, taking other people's research and making it their own. Does that hit home, Crash Bros? and trying to then interpret things that they believed that they heard, which actually didn't happen because it was the game of telephone. And you ended up dating an antelope with a white tail. Like, these are the types of things where people end up. And then lastly, as far as like the average of the people that you hang out with, that means I'm going to be a 3-year-old girl. Like, that's literally my average. You know, the people that I hang out with the most, I'm going to be a 3-year-old girl. That's what I am. Hang out with my kids.
I'm glad you clarified that you're hanging out with your kids.
It's kind of, yeah.
Because there's some haters in the comments that are looking for any reason to attack landlords.
Yes. We all know what they're doing, the haters. Yeah.
And Mike, you work with other law enforcement agencies, coworkers, other officers, dispatch even. You know, how many of them, what is the response when you say, first, you got in trouble for TikTok? So,
Yep.
now, do any of them even know you're on YouTube? But when you bring up real estate, rentals, investing out of state, house hacking, what do they say?
A lot of them say, man, I wish I could do that. Oh, I really wish I could start investing in real estate. Oh man, yeah, wouldn't it be cool if I could buy a duplex like you? Yeah, that'd be so cool. Well, anyways, I'm going to go spend twice what you spend on your duplex to buy a single family home. See you later. Cool. And to Matt's point earlier about getting phone calls after 8:30, man, I average at least 3 phone calls a week, but they're very different after 8:30 p.m. phone calls.
Oh, sweet Lord.
They're not coming from tenants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Friends calling from the bar looking for the DD drive. Don't count, bro.
Right. Okay. All right. But Dion, to your main point. Okay. And I think this is actually kind of the point that you were making. Sure, I work with a whole bunch of people who don't invest in real estate. I do. And I chat with them. You know, I spend time with them. I don't really hang out with many people from work after work. I like to have non-cop things happen in my life. But I think about real estate from the time I wake up. I crank on Michael Zuber's One Rental at a Time daily financial news. I see what the Lumberjack posted today. I go check out what Dion posted. I check in with my group chat with all the other Indiana investors that I invest with. I jump on Facebook and I look at the Three Amigos Facebook page. I look at the One Rental at a Time Facebook page. I jump over to my Instagram where I've got tons of people inundating me with messages asking about real estate. I talk to you guys in the group chat, and Matt is right. That thing's going off way too early in the morning and way too late at night. It's frustrating. I never could sleep. Anyways, I breathe. I dream about real estate all the time. I can't get out of my head. So I spend a considerable amount of my actual time interacting with and learning from and discussing with people, real estate investing, all this type of stuff. So I might physically be closer to somebody else, but mentally I'm far away.
Someday I'm going to make a video where I don't start with an idea that you guys just flat out disagree with.
But not today.
So I think I've debunked it. You are not going to become the average of the people that you spend the most time with. You become what you focus on.
Yeah.
And if you want financial freedom, you want success in real estate, focus on it. Mm-hmm. And to be fair. Matt, you stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Usually.
Your kids go to sleep and then you start texting.
Yes.
And Mike, you're on SWAT, so nobody knows what your schedule is. And I don't have a schedule. So that group chat, we signed up for it.
Yeah.
Thank you both. If you want to reach out with more questions on how to be like these two guys, you can find Matt the Lumberjack Landlord here on YouTube and on Instagram. And you can find Millennial Mike here on YouTube and on Instagram, a place I'm still not at. Until my next video, thanks for coming to my Dion Talk.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.